So I'm Dathan Sturgis. I'm currently in Dallas, Texas. I'm an assistant professor and the clinical coordinator at UT Southwestern's PA program. I grew up very poor. However, that is kind of what has driven me to where I am today. Grew up fully aware that I needed to work a little harder if I wanted to achieve the goals that I needed to do because my parents couldn't afford to send me to college. Did not know what a PA was. My goal was to be a doctor, because that's all I knew. In my small town, we didn't have PAs, we didn't have advanced practice providers. We had 2 doctors, and that's it. And neither one of those doctors looked like me. Most of my teachers didn't look like me. So growing up, and I'll be very honest, I thought that education was for white people and not black people. I thought that we just worked at the plants and the factories and were janitors, and you couldn't achieve that. But I had some parents who didn't have the education, but they stressed the education because they wanted better for me.
My name is Alisha Bowden, and I am a physician assistant. I grew up in an urban area in South Florida. Both of my parents were addicted to crack cocaine. I am a first graduate of my family from college, and I am still the only person in my family who has obtained a master's degree through my PA training. I had an amazing guidance counselor and brace advisor in high school, made sure I was prepared, helped me sign up for SAT prep courses and training. And I was able to get a full scholarship, 100%, to University of Central Florida in Orlando.
My name is Veronica Coleman. I am a PA and also a PA faculty, what people call South Central LA. That's where I was born and raised. Lived in Los Angeles during the Rodney King riots and that whole upheaval. Neither one of my parents have college degrees or college educations. My father was a bus driver, drove city buses, and my mom was a social worker. I was the first in the house to graduate from college. Didn't know what a PA was at that point in time. Thought maybe I wanted to go to medical school and be a doctor. How many times I'd have patients tell me, "I'm so proud of you," even though they didn't know what I did. And even though I would explain it to them and they still weren't quite sure, they would just say, "I'm so proud of you. I'm just so happy to see that you've done this. You keep doing what you're doing."
I'm Richard Voss. I'm a physician assistant graduate of the Hahnemann program in 1978. You know, the Marine Corps says they're looking for a few good men and women. I kind of view the PA profession the same way. If you really got the drive, the dedication, and you truly want a profession and a career that's going to be something that you'll enjoy your entire life, this is the place to be.
I'm Shawnee Fleming, and I am currently working at Barry University in St. Croix, Virgin Islands. So my journey, I'm sure, is pretty similar to a lot of folks. So I grew up in pretty humble beginnings. We didn't have a lot. My mother was incredibly supportive and definitely made it a point to sort of get us outside of our surroundings. You look around and the only people that look like you are the housekeepers or the people selling bagels. You sort of convince yourself that maybe I don't belong here. But, you know, it's kind of stinking thinking, and you have to kind of get that out of your system and continue to encourage yourself and to find other people and mentors to kind of let you know you deserve to be here just like anybody else. The most enjoyable piece was my clinical year. Patients were so incredibly appreciative and we're so proud. I mean, it's something that still kind of affects me because you have some of these older ladies that look at you and they say, you know, how proud they are of you. They'll say, "Well, just wait right here. Let me go grab my daughter because I want for her to see you and for you to talk to her." There's that other piece of mentorship and showing them that there's something else out there and that, hey, their kids could do it and you could do it too.
Well, my name is Tonia Gilbert. I'm a physician assistant practicing in North Carolina. When I was young, probably around 11 years old, my mom was diagnosed with diabetes. And I was taught at a very young age how to give insulin. And that's what intrigued me about the medical field, is because, you know, as her daughter, I was helping her with her medical problems. And I learned how to give insulin. I learned how to check her blood sugars with her glucometer. And I really got an interest into medicine after that. I began to find all the illnesses in the family, and I became the go-to person. Even as a young girl, you know, I would make sure their sugars were checked, make sure they were eating right, and maybe a nuisance a little. I tell students who are young now, coming straight out of high school, that it's not about your age, it's about your commitment to the profession, your commitment to your career, and your commitment to your patients. And what I appreciate about being a PA is just that we can be that liaison, you know, between the patient and the physician, and we can be their advocate, and we just get to serve. It's a wonderful profession. I would do it over again if I had to do it over again.
I always like to say, a country boy from Louisiana had a goal, had a dream, worked toward it, didn't let anyone deter me, because along the way there were people. But like I said, you have to be your own champion.
Even after I go into quote-unquote retirement, I will still probably find a free clinic somewhere or a small practice somewhere where I can work 1 or 2 days a week just to keep my hand in, because that's what I do.
I would not trade being a physician assistant for anything in the world. It has allowed me to not only help patients and people in my community, but it's allowed me to give other students who are like me and think that they, you know, someone in medicine doesn't look like them or doesn't come from the background they came from, the encouragement.
Eleanor Roosevelt said the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. And if you believe in your dreams, you really can accomplish it.